Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Founding Partners Press Conference of the 2025 Asia Pacific Amateur Championship. My name is Mike Woodcock, and I'll be hosting the press conference this morning. I'd like to begin by introducing our panel. To my immediate left is Mr. Fred Ridley, Chairman of the Masters Tournament and Augusta National Golf Club. In the centre is Mr. Mark Darbin, Chief Executive of the R&A. And on the other side is Mr. Taimur Hassan Amin, Chairman of the Asia Pacific Golf Confederation. I'd like to begin by asking Mark to give a few opening words.
Thank you, Mike. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the 2025 Asia Pacific Amateur Championship. We're grateful to all of you for making the effort to be here and for the coverage that you will provide in telling the story of this championship and what it is setting out to achieve for golf in the region. I was lucky enough to see a little of the AAC in Japan last year, but this is my first championship since becoming Chief Executive of the R&A. And I have to say, it's hugely impressive to see the scale of the event and its world-class staging. I'm delighted to be involved from a personal perspective and looking forward to what promises to be a fantastic championship ahead. This is the 16th edition of the AAC, and it's made huge progress in that time. Much of that progress is down to the energy and enthusiasm of our fellow founding partners at the Masters Tournament and the Asia Pacific Golf Confederation. I would like to thank Fred and Taimur for their dedication to this event and that of their teams. This week, we have 120 players from 41 countries. And for those contending at the top of the leaderboard, there are life-changing opportunities to aim for, places in the Open and the Masters next year. We're extremely grateful to General Abdullah and the Emirates Golf Federation for helping us bring this championship to Dubai for a second time. I would also like to thank Mr. Al Hashimi and the team at Dubai Golf for their outstanding hospitality. This is a very special venue and will provide an excellent test for the players this week. On Sunday evening, we will crown another AAC champion, but we will have also inspired many others to have either gotten involved in golf or want to come and compete at this event themselves in years to come. That's what success looks like for this great championship. Finally, I'm extremely excited to be able to announce our venue for 2026. We are very much looking forward to staging next year's championship at the magnificent TRI Links South Course in New Zealand from October 29th to November 1st, 2026. We're joined today by Jim Rawstaff from TRI, and we know just how excited everyone is there to welcome the AAC in 12 months' time. With that, I will thank you again for being here and hand back to Mike so we can take some questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. If you'd like to raise your hand, we'll get a microphone to you for the questions. Will?
One for Fred, if that's all right. Will Turgood from Golf New Zealand here. Fred, Augusta National and TRI Links are geographically about as far away from each other as it's possible to be. How excited are you personally and for the Masters Tournament to be bringing this amazing championship to New Zealand shores at TRI Links?
Well, we're very excited. Of course, we've been to New Zealand once before at Royal Wellington Golf Club. And I must say that was one of the most robust receptions that we've ever had for this championship. Lots of people attended the tournament, a lot of excitement. We certainly know TRI by reputation. We look forward to being there. I know it's going to be a wonderful venue and a great experience for all these players, so we're very excited.
Joy on the left-hand side.
I just wanted to start with asking Taimur, so you've been at the helm of APGC for past 6 years, and I know that on Sunday you will be stepping down as the chairman. In these years, and you've been associated before as well, but in these years, what do you see in this championship that has come to mean so much to all the players in the region?
Well, you know, when we first went to the first event in 2009 at Mission Hills under Chairman Payne's leadership, I don't think anybody could have envisaged this tournament to be at this magnitude. The standard, the quality. We thought we were playing on the tour. because, I mean, I think a lot of the professionals were quite envious of the standard that our senior partners have been able to maintain. The year, this is quite funny because we were the only father and son that have played in this event twice. So I qualified, as an official of the APGC, and I was playing there. And the 2 years that Hideki won, I was in the field. Unfortunately, he beat me. That's why he's at the Masters and I'm not, This particular venue has a great significance for us because they gave the opportunity in 2021 after the COVID, and they held this event here, and it was so successful that they've actually come back to Dubai. So I think the Emirates Golf Federation and General Abdullah should be complimented for having the facilities and having to host it again. What this tournament has done actually for the youth in this part of the world, it's because if you look at the age group that is now playing in these events, the standard, the way, the quality, the scholarships that they are getting in the US, both the boys and the girls, it's quite incredible because previously they wouldn't have this opportunity. But because now they're playing this world-class event, a lot of the students from the US come back to play this event. So when they go back, they say, this is the event to be. And I have to congratulate Chairman Ridley and Mark themselves for heading this and ensuring that every year it just gets better. You've got to keep thinking, how does it get better? But it does get better. And the standard keeps improving. So that's what's done to this. They've made these kids dream. So when you dream, this tournament has made them dream. So and they have seen that the dreams have come true because Hideki has actually won. Cameron Smith has actually won majors. So full marks to them for hosting this, and that's the difference this tournament has made.
And if I can ask one question to Mr. Ridley. Mr. Ridley, I am based in Dubai. So I wanted to ask you, 2021, in very different circumstances, Dubai hosted this championship, and now they are doing in 2025, again, very different conditions. I just wanted to get your appreciation of what Dubai has managed to do for this championship.
Well, first, reflecting back on 2021, that was a much different time. It was a very difficult time throughout the world. It was a challenge to conduct the championship that year, and our friends in Dubai stepped up to the plate and welcomed us with open arms, and so that really meant a lot. I mean, in an event like this, you want to build momentum. Timer referenced that it seems to get better every year, and it's not. It's certainly hard to do that, and doesn't take a lot going off track to maybe go in the other direction. So I think that was a pivotal year for us, and the fact that we were welcomed here at Dubai in a difficult time in the world, I think meant a lot to this championship. And so it gives me a lot of satisfaction to be able to come back here in just 4 years to see how golf has grown in this region. I believe it's high single digits in participation here in the Middle East. So there's a lot of good things happening, and I really feel that Dubai has been a big contributor to that.
Okay, we've got the next question. We've got Evan at the front.
Question for Mr. Ridley. Just want to commend you on the decision to award a spot in the Masters for the National Opens that you announced recently. Could you tell us the sort of detailed thought process why you granted that category to entry to the Masters tournament?
You're referring to the National Opens? Yes. Well, as you stated, there were 7 Open championships, historical championships around the world that we and the RNA as well recognized in a joint statement recently. International competition has always been a big part of the Masters tournament. That representation internationally has grown over the years to where it's pretty much 50-50, even maybe a few more international players. So we thought it was appropriate to sort of carry on that tradition and the culture that we've established at the Masters. Golf is a global game, and I think we we always want to recognize that. We felt that not only were we living true to our values, but we also were hopefully maybe just as this championship has inspired young amateurs around the Asia Pacific region, we hope that incentive of awarding the winners an invitation, a spot in the Masters tournament as well as the Open Championship would also generate some additional interest in those countries. And I know that in Japan recently that was the case, and I think it'll be the case in all those countries. So we're very excited about that change in our qualifications.
The specific national opens that you ended up choosing, was there a thought process into those exact national opens, or was it more just spreading it through the continents and regions of the world?
These are really some of the historical championships that have been around for quite some time and have meant a lot in their countries. There's some great golfers that have come from a number of those countries, and we just felt that those 7 championships were appropriate to award invitations to the Masters.
Mark, would you like to add anything on that from an Open perspective?
I agree with everything Fred has said there. I think we've had in place for a number of years now our Open qualifying series, which is drawn on the events that we're now working collaboratively on and a broader range of championships that we pull on to create a strong field at the Open Championship. Much like Mr. Ridley said, we believe that golf is a global game and we want the strongest international field at our respective tournament and championship. And we're also very proud of the collaboration. I think much as we've done here at the AAC, the combination of the R&A and Augusta National Golf Club working in parallel and closely in partnership is strong for our game more broadly.
Thank you.
Swami at the back in the centre.
Chairman Taimur just answered the question about the first 15 years, how they have been for this championship and also for WAP. What would the three of you envisage for the next decade and a half? We produce some absolutely fantastic champions in Hideki Matsuyama, Takumi Kanaya, Keita Nakajima and all. What would you foresee from here to say maybe 2029 and 2039 when the championships will be 20 and 30 years old?
Do you want me to answer that?
Sure, all three.
Okay, all 3 of us can do that. I can start. Well, I think, the most important thing is that there's no need to change what's not broken. We're succeeding every year. We're progressing, producing better players every year. The standard of the event is going up every year. It would be nice to go to different countries where we could popularize the game even more. And I think it's part of it's part of our plan to keep shifting this event to because our region is huge. We've got 45 countries, we've got billions of people in there, we've got thousands of golf courses. But this is the catalyst. This event is the catalyst for the amateur golf. And they're the ones, this is now the tournament to be part of. So it's a success. And I think in the next 10, 15 years, if we carry on like this, and obviously every year we keep improving, so it would be a great impetus for the youth, for the boys, the girls, both, to continue playing this event, and maybe they can go on to win more. And if we have another Hideki situation or a Cameron Smith situation, I think it would be fantastic. And I congratulate both of them for helping us develop the game in our region.
Well, Mark, I think you're probably the best person to answer this question because you're the only one that has a realistic chance of being here in 2039. I know Timmy and I will be moved on, hopefully still around, but probably not at this press conference. But before I comment about the future, I'd like to look back a little bit, and maybe some of you know that in the audience today is my predecessor and Chairman Emeritus of Augusta National, Billy Payne. It was Billy's vision to start this championship. Billy had a world view of the sport of golf, and I think we all owe him a debt of gratitude in working with the R&A and Peter Dawson at that time to create this vision of what a championship like this could do for golf in the Asia Pacific region to inspire these young people to play the game and to grow the game. So I'd like to give Billy a shout out and thank him for all he's done and to create this championship. As far as looking into the future, I think about the word trajectory. If you look at the trajectory of this championship over the past 15 years, it's been amazing. The number of players, the depth of the field here has increased and gotten a lot better. The number of players that are now playing college golf in the United States, the number of professional wins, somebody said it was 160 from participants in this championship. It's really been amazing. So I think that we need to look at that trajectory, and I expect it's going to continue on that steep incline. So we're excited about that. Mark?
Thank you. Look, this is my first AAC, as I said, in the role. So I guess I have a fresh set of eyes coming into this championship. From an R&A perspective, we think about opening up golf to the world. That's our purpose. How do we grow and support the development of this sport all around the world? And a few things go into that. Lots of things go into that, but there's a couple that stand out to me in respect of this championship specifically. The first is providing a strong pathway. And one of the things that struck me as I come into this role is that 160 former participants from this event have gone on to win events on professional tours all around the world. That's a remarkable number of players. And it speaks to the investment into this championship and why it's so important. But that pathway is actually not just about the players. It's about other individuals who are involved in staging these great championships. I think we've got 7 referees this week from emerging territories. It will be their first experience for some of them of refereeing on a stage like this. That's really important when you think about the future of our game. So the first piece is pathway. How do we maintain and grow that into the future? The second piece for me is the role that these events provide or play in inspiring millions of golfers all around the world. At the R&A, we're big believers that the shop window at the top of the game needs to be strong to draw people into the sport more broadly. And I think that across the Asia Pacific region, there are now more than 41 million people playing golf. A quarter of those golfers are under the age of 18. That bodes really well for the future of our sport. And the numbers are growing. I think 7% growth in registered golfers in this region over the last 4 years. Really strong trends. Is all of that because of this championship specifically? No, but has this championship helped play an important role to underpin that growth and development of our sport? Absolutely. And so we've set an early benchmark. We've got more work to build on and capitalise on that success, and very excited to be part of that for the future.
Mark, if I could just add one thing. You made a comment about pathways, and you mentioned referees. Beyond the players, there's so many parts of this game that are represented that are very important. And I'll mention 2. One are the regional associations, the associations from the countries where we play, and just to see the excitement and the growth of those associations and their participation has really been something that we've been very proud of. The other thing is all of you sitting in this room. I think this is probably the largest media contingency that I've seen since I've been involved. I believe you're represented by 11 countries, which is just amazing. Not to mention the 100 countries in which this event is televised. So when you look at all those metrics, it really, really is encouraging.
Let me just make a small follow-up question on that. All 3 of you talked about the trajectory and the way the game is growing. Very encouraging. I mean, a lot of my friends in this room would be disappointed if I didn't ask this question about India. That's where I am from. What does India need to do to get this championship in India, and what would India need to do to have its Open, the Indian Open, get onto a qualifying series or into the Masters?
Do you want me to go for it? I don't mind. Just like to go
People would be very disappointed if I didn't ask this question.
Of course.
Well, we can both answer. You go first.
I'll go first. I mean, look, it was fantastic to see a successful DP World Tour in India over the last couple of weeks. Some great coverage at a fantastic golf course. I mean, we're very committed to moving this championship around the Asia Pacific region in aggregate. I've just talked about the role that this championship can play in inspiring golfers for the future. And so we think that movement around the full region is really important. We're continuing to continually evaluate venues. We're really lucky. The growth and momentum behind this event means that there are many territories and venues that are actively approaching us to stage the event. We recognise the importance of India as a market, And so it's very much on our radar. Not ready to announce anything on that front at this stage, but on our radar for the future.
Well,
Evan,
like they've said, that it's they are trying to move around. There's a lot of pressure because there's so many iconic venues that our region presents. India is obviously a very big developing market, and they have established professionals on the PGA Tour, on the DP Tour. And now that they've had this really successful event last week where Rory and Fleetwood and everybody were playing. So I'm sure that this will all be taken into consideration in their future plans, and I'm sure it's on their list. But there's a lot of pressure and a lot of, and I look forward to the match going to. I won't be around, but I really look forward to the match going to India, and I'm sure it will.
Okay, Evan, this time.
Another question for Mark and Fred. Rory McIlroy is obviously your reigning Masters champion, and he had spoken of his love for National Opens sort of before you made the announcement. Wondering if he played any part in, or was he of any inspiration to make that decision, or maybe just confirmation to make that decision?
Well, we certainly were happy to hear Rory say that. I mean, he's been a great representative of the game, a great representative as the Masters champion. As Timer mentioned, he was in India, as we all know, and I think his view of the game is a global game as well. But having his endorsement of that concept, certainly we welcomed, and I suspect that many other players like Rory felt the same way.
Yeah, nothing specific to add. We think golf is a global game. We're passionate about the strength of the historic National Opens and a number of other events all around the world, and we'll continue to draw on them to provide pathways into our championship.
And just to follow up, obviously TRI Links is very highly sought after by fans of golf course architecture, and it's also a brand new course, and I don't think this event has gone to a brand new course in the 16-year history. Can you see that adding a lot of excitement to the fact that it is a top 40 course of the world with, brand name course designers and a place that many would have on their bucket list?
Well, I think it certainly will add to the excitement, and the fact that venues such as this actually want to have this championship, I think, is a validation of how far we've come. And I think we're going to see more great venues around the world. I mean, that's really one of the key inspirations to these young people. I know I remember when I was growing up as a young amateur golfer, to go to a historic, in our case, the U.S. Open venue, for example, really added to the excitement. So, having these wonderful venues that we're invited to really is adding to the prestige of this championship.
I think the only thing I would add to that, and I agree wholly, is that you've seen the scale of this championship. A lot of infrastructure is required. That needs space. There's significant accommodation and logistical requirements. So we have a number of factors to balance as we stage this brilliant championship, and we'll continue to factor all of those in as we make our future choices.
Okay, we'll take one final question. Joy, briefly, please.
This is to Mr. Ridley and Mark as well. We just had the Ryder Cup, and it was. I wanted to ask you about the crowd part of it, and it was unruly at many times. As custodians of the sport, both of you play an important role. I just wanted to know how something like this can be avoided, and Masters is a great example of where everyone maintains the decorum. But how can this be avoided and players can feel like they are playing just golf?
Well, I think the fact that you asked the question and the fact that we're all talking about it is really important. The Ryder Cup has just gained tremendous public interest in the last few years. It's become incredibly competitive. I mean, 30 years ago, it wasn't all that competitive. So I think that certainly is good for the game and the interest that it's created among fans around the world. Certainly, national pride sort of adds another element to a competition. I don't think that anyone was particularly happy with what happened this year, and I think it just reminds us of as custodians of the game, the responsibility that we have to perpetuate its underlying values. And I think, hopefully that this is something we're going to focus on more, and because I think that's part of what makes golf special, is that it is a different sort of set of rules, if you will, and so it's something I think we need to work on. It's something I hope everyone involved with the game will reflect on, so we continue to perpetuate the great things about the game of golf.
Yeah, I agree. I think first and foremost, you want and need passion. There are very few sports that succeed anywhere around the world without a strong following and passionate supporters. And so passion is important within our game as it is in other sports. But I think one of the things that defines golf, and I've worked in a number of sports and I'm new to this industry, and one of the things that struck me in my first 10 or 11 months is the real strength of the values of the game. They are so critical. They're a highly differentiating factor for us versus other sports. And they provide us with something that many other sports all around the world would crave, this strong value set that pervades both the recreational game and the elite game. And so we as leaders within the sport need to perpetuate and exemplify and role model and showcase those values, because without them, it will become much harder to grow this game. So we're very focused on that. And again, I think that's areas where collaboration between organizations like Augusta National Golf Club and the R&A and brilliant federations all around the world are so critical to underpin and elevate those values.
Well, we'll draw things to a close. Thank you, everyone, for attending the press conference, and thank you to our panel. Have a great week. Thank you.